At one point, there was a kid who couldn't even dribble a basketball. And now, that same kid even exposed Stephen Curry. So, who is this guy? Chet Holmgren is a 7-foot, 190-pound 5-star recruit. And he is one of the best players in the country. But this guy hasn't always been at the top. So let's throw it all the way back to where things started. Even though Chet looks like a very skilled basketball player right now, he hasn't always had that skill. When he was just in 3rd grade, that's when he decided to join an AAU program. And when he went to the tryouts, let's just say it was a day that he would like to forget. He showed up to the tryouts in cargo shorts and a polo tee. We don't have to talk too much about that. You already know, and my hoopers out there, you know that this kid got absolutely roasted. And Holmgren even himself goes on to say, "I was this long, lanky, awkward white dude. I looked terrible. I couldn't catch the ball, couldn't dribble. Everybody was making fun of me and I just wasn't ready." And all I can see and all I can picture really is just an uncoordinated white dude wearing a polo tee, just looking terrible on the court and getting made fun of by everybody. And even his coach goes on to say he was probably as big as a pencil at the time. Really long, frail, and really weak. But the coach wound up taking a chance on Chet Holmgren. And let's just say it took a while for Chet to even get good at basketball and understand the game. It was so bad that Chet himself even goes on to state that "I cried after the first week of practice. Every practice." He also adds to that in an interview that "I just could not handle it. But the way I was born, I've never really been somebody to like take a hit and just lay there. I'll get hit and I'll get back up." So when he was young and even now, he had that dog fight inside of him. And from about 3rd grade to 6th grade, he really didn't see a lot of playing time during those years. But one thing he did do was he managed to grow into his body while also growing into his game. And by growing his game, I don't even mean scoring. He was just trying to learn the fundamentals. His dad and even his coaches were just teaching him little things, like how to box out for a rebound and how to avoid fouling. But one thing that is kind of odd is that even though Holmgren was always taller than most of his opponents, his coach never put him on the block. Holmgren says, "He always put me with the guards, taught me everything he taught the guards. I guess it's just paying off." And with Chet not even knowing how to dribble or even catch when he was younger, I really do think this was a smart move by the coach. Because if you put him with the guards in practice, he's going to learn how to increase his handles and just overall ball skills. Whereas if you put him with the centers in the post, he's not really going to get much better at ball handling and catching the basketball. So going into 6th grade, Chet wound up following one of his point guards on his team to a prestigious private Christian school. And when he was just in 6th grade, he was listed at 6'2", but he did have an injury at the time. He was rehabbing from a broken right wrist in his shooting hand, but he used the injury to his advantage. He saw it as an opportunity to expand his shooting range, and he did just that. And for the next few years, he was basically a bench player and got a little playing time here and there. But, however, by the 9th grade, he grew another 7 inches. And just as a freshman, he started to see a lot of playing time on varsity. He was basically just a defensive specialist who just sat in the paint and protected the rim. But with that being said, he did put up 6.2 points and 3 rebounds per game. So not too shabby. And going into his sophomore year, he really started to develop his ball handling skills and shooting even more. Also, to add to that, he started getting a post presence as well. And this is where all of the hard work behind the scenes led to a breakout season. He completely skyrocketed all of his numbers. He jumped his points up from 6.2 to 18.6. And to go along with that, he also jumped his rebounds up from 3 to 11. That's crazy. I really do not think you guys understand how much of an improvement those numbers are going from a freshman to a sophomore. And oh yeah, these numbers also helped him lead his team to a 3rd straight Minnesota 2A basketball championship. And the craziest thing of all about his sophomore season was that you could hardly find this guy on recruiting websites, and most of them didn't even have him ranked. But going into the summer after his sophomore year, this is when things really took off. While playing with his AAU team called Sizzle in the Under Armour Association, he wound up earning the tournament MVP. Well, actually they call it MOP, Most Outstanding Player, but it's the same thing. I really need y'all to listen to these numbers he put up. He averaged 19.8 points per game, 7 rebounds, which is alright, but nearly 9 blocks to go along with those stats. 9 blocks per game. That is unheard of. He literally almost averaged a triple-double with blocks. And if that wasn't enough for you, he also had something that really blew him up and had a lot of people paying attention. While running pickup basketball at Stephen Curry Select Camp in late August, he actually found himself being guarded by the 2-time MVP. And as you guys see, he showed Stephen Curry that this big man, he can dribble. He literally put the moves on Stephen Curry and left him in the dust. And he showed him and the world that he's more than just a 7-footer. He can hoop. And it was just impressive that he even had the guts to try that move. But not only that, he pulled it off so smoothly. And after all of this happened, the rankings reflected all of his achievements. After being an afterthought in most of the 2021 rankings, he's now a contender for the top spot in the class. And Chet Holmgren even knows his game's improved and he's kind of getting that confidence. After the game that Stephen Curry and Chet Holmgren played in, Curry actually went up to him and told him, "You got me on that one." And of course, once the highlights started trending, he started getting a lot of Snapchats, DMs, and a ton of followers on Instagram. And ever since then, he hasn't looked back. He's taken advantage of his opportunity. Chet Holmgren has came a long way. In less than 18 months, Holmgren has gone from being a nameless big man to being a candidate for the #1 spot in his class. And his story proves, if you work hard, you can come from nothing to something. But hey man, with all of this being said, that's about gonna wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something. If you are new to the channel, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button and leave a like for more. And as always, let's be great. I'm out, y'all. Peace.